Hello everyone, this is Tormuse, and picking up Subnautica Below Zero one more time. This will probably be the last time because apparently I've got all the achievements for the game, and I don't know how much is left. I mean, like, I won the game. It looks like I found Marguerite, and like the last thing she said, it was to draw my attention to the PDA on the bench, which just talks about the antidote that Sam developed that I already found and already administered. So it's like, I don't think there's anything left. But I don't know. I'll take a look around. It's like I said, like I said before, it's going to be a really anticlimactic finish to the series, but just in the off chance there's more to find, I'll just do a heavily edited episode today and just leave in the parts where I find things. Alright, here I am back again. Marguerite's thing. I was, their greenhouse. I was, shoot, what was I going to say? One of the the new bloopers was the spicy fruit salad, which Preston's plant leaf, which I thought that. Can I just cut a leaf off of here? There you go. Delightful to some. Yeah, I thought that the from the description that this is the kind of thing that you have to get Preston to eat it, and then he produces the green sludge, which is used to make it. But apparently, no. It's you just have to cut the leaves off of it. It's fast asleep, I guess. Anyway, so yeah, I guess I'll just want to run off and to my next destination. Off we go then. Okay, so coming up on Marguerite Maida's base again. This is the first thing I wanted to check out, to see if there's anything to be found in the in her room, and I saw through the glass dome that it looked like there's a snowstalker there. Is that does she have multiple pet snowstalkers, or did she somehow get here ahead of me?
You again.
I headed straight here. How the heck did you get here ahead of me? Is there anything new? Nothing scannable. He's chewing on a blue tablet. That's cute. I mean, they lasted 1,000 years. I guess they make hardy chew toys. He's not blocking the door this time, so there's more for me to explore, more content. So hey, piles of dirty dishes. I guess she's yeah, it's one of those side effects of living alone. You don't have to have appearances for anyone. So there's a little ribcage table. That's neat. Lots of booze bottles. Is there a blueprint for that, or is that all from leftover from the Degassi? Various skewered animals. Oh, small stove. Interesting. New blueprints inside. What's this about? Where are you? Titanium and copper, low power conduction unit, useless. Oh, okay. I'm glad they had the little qualifier useless on there. There's another room. Margaret doesn't seem to be objecting to me coming into her bedroom. There's a habitat builder, various things. A little gorge toy. Lots more booth bottles. Various metal junk. Bunch of eating utensils, a medikit fabricator. Aha! This is Margaret made this log number 3. I found a number 2 and a number 3. I've not seen a number 1. Yeah, I'll check this out though, I guess.
Fortnight into our voyage, I was more or less living inside the creature's ribcage. It meant shelter, and it meant food. The flesh was starting to rot. The stench was unlike anything I'd ever smelled. As we floated, the temperature dropped, and the rotten meat began to stiffen and freeze. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, the Reaper began to lose buoyancy. We sank a little each day. My sanctuary was becoming my tomb, and I was at the mercy of the current and the winds. Until one day, I saw a smattering of penguins in the distance. Swimming birds usually mean solid land of some kind. I was lucky. The winds followed their path. Hours later, I saw a blessed sight. An unmoving cloud sitting upon the water. Land. It renewed my spirit as I watched the land get closer and closer. The Reaper slowly sank, but I was no longer worried. When the Reaper finally sank below the water, I was close enough to lazily swim my way to shore. I made a note to come back for the Reaper skull. I didn't ride the beast for 3 weeks to have no proof. Land never felt so good, even in this Arctic hell.
So, she didn't even. I was at first I was like, okay, she must have found some way to teleport here, but then it was like incredibly like, what? She swam here, and now it's like, what? She drifted here? Over the course of 2 weeks, apparently. Okay. Like, how far a distance did she travel this way? I don't know. Anyway, it seems that PDA is the only thing there. I mean, and there's nothing to add to anything that's add to those mysteries I alluded to before, like, why did Altera ban this? I mean, it could just be that they left because Marguerite was wreaking havoc, and they said, "Screw this, I'm out of here." Hey, is that a bobo tree? Something scannable. What was scannable? Shower. Interesting. It's something I've sort of wondered about. Like, how do they, it's high density water streams, soap not included. Can I get a sample of bulbo tree? No? No? These look like Chinese potato plants, but I can't take the potatoes. These look like they're just here for show. Toilet. This is the washroom, I guess, and a sink. Little details that were missing from the previous game. Are these actually functional? Do they do anything? Typically, you could just go in the ocean. Yeah. Maybe it's only functional if I build it, or maybe it's just not functional at all. It looks like there's nothing interactable about it. But yeah, there's a number 2 and number 3 message from Marguerite. Surely there's got to be a number 1 somewhere. I mean, unless this is number 1. No, this is just her the information about her about herself. Kind of wonder, was I supposed to find number 1 first? Like maybe it's sitting in the moon pool. Maybe I just overlooked it somewhere. Maybe it's in her hand. I don't seem to be able to interact with her. I don't know. Like seriously, is there a PDA sitting here somewhere that I missed? Maybe it's outside. Like sitting on the ground next to the habitat. Like, could I have just missed it and it's like sitting here somewhere? Like, you can't have a number 2 and a number 3 without a number 1 sitting somewhere, right? Surely. And then it becomes a question of how much time do I want to spend to search for something that I might not find and might not be worth it anyway. There are like light sticks around here, so you know, like the presence of the light sticks indicates that she's, you know, was there at some point. So I don't know, maybe she dropped a PDA somewhere. Yeah, and you know, and like, this is why I've kind of been putting off doing this recording. I'm like almost dreading it because I'm like, it's going to be a whole lot of searching for things that I might not find and probably won't be worth it anyway. Like I've won the game and I've got all the achievements. Like everything else is just pretty extraneous. You know, it's just. I'm not seeing a PDA anywhere here. I didn't see anyone inside. So I don't know. Yeah, like you again. I kind of wonder, well, if she's here, then what if I go back to the greenhouse again? Is she not going to be there? Or is this going to be the kind of thing where she just, like, somehow zips back and forth super quickly? Like, this actually kind of makes me wonder, what if I'd had the teleportation module attached to the sea truck and I like just like teleported to her? Would she still have gotten here ahead of me? Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, like when I was playing the original Subnautica, you know, season 3, the one where I won the game the first time, there was an extended section of the recording that where I was just, you know, just sort of just generally searching everywhere, just seeing what I could find. I wasn't sure where to go. I mean, it turned out where I was supposed to go was like the lava zone where I had already been. Like, so I found the containment facility at 1,400 meters deep before the the one that I was apparently supposed to be looking for at 1,200 meters, the thermal plant. And that kind of messed me up because I was like, hello. Yeah, I should probably get this zappy thing ready. I don't know, just made me feel uncertain where to go in a lot of ways. But yeah, now it's just I don't think I want to do a repeat of that, you know. Just randomly searching for things that I probably won't find, like things like that. Like there may be other like Arctic artifacts like that distillery or that downed satellite that I found. You know, for example. But but yeah, you know, those aren't particularly interesting finds, you know, like they it's just you know, it's like it's not even adding to the lore of the place or anything, or it doesn't feel like it's giving me any clues as to, you know, to those mysteries I alluded to, like what were the architects doing here in this region. Whoops, I left the door wide open. Okay, she's not here. I just kind of wondered. Oh well. So yeah, I guess I'll just pack up the scanner room and just move it over to another place and see if there's anything else to be found. Maybe I'll make a stop at my home base and oops. Yeah, make a stop at my home base and try crafting some of those things I got the blueprints for. And there you go, spicy fruit salad.
Fruit salad does not traditionally involve leaves, but at least it is nutritious and warming.
There you go. Plus 100 body heat, plus 85 food, plus 30 water. It only takes one inventory slot. So, I mean, these still provide more water, and water is really the limiting region when it comes to these sorts of journeys. I mean, food is plentiful everywhere. You can just use once you've got the thermoplate, I mean. But yeah, like this is much better than the thermos full of coffee that I've been using. In terms of heat. Yeah, and this is better than the nutrient block in terms of food source. Huh. It's part of those salad warming effects. Cool. I also took the liberty of planting the fruit in its own little planter here. Apparently I could have brought 3 more of them. Oh well. I'll plant more of them once it's grown a bit. Anyway, let's have some inventory management. And before I set out, I want to check out my little menagerie here, and yeah, the Tri-Valve Blue is here. The fact that it's called Tri-Valve Blue kind of made me wonder if there's a Tri-Valve Orange too, you know, to complete the portal thing they got going on. Since there were 2 eggs, I half expected one to be the other one to be an orange or variant. But no, I guess they're both blue. Blue. Okay, so it's command to stop follow. So yeah, I want you to stop follow. Thanks. All right. Okay. I replaced one of the power cells with the ion power cell, and I also have made myself an ion battery as my backup battery. So, not that power was particularly an issue, but that will be even less of an issue. Anyway, let's go back to that temp base to pack it up, and then, I don't know, figure out where I'm going to go next. Okay, so I just finished very uneventfully packing up my temp base and traveling over to secondary base. And I wanted to travel here first as sort of a starting point so I can go around the edges of the island and see if there's anything around here. Just because, I mean, that's how I found stuff before. Like when I found the base 0, that was just from randomly deciding to search the outskirts of the random landmass that was there. So yeah, so now this is me just heading in the other direction. Lots of these eye jellies around. Is that new music too? Could that be telling me that something of interest is coming up here? Yeah, probably not. We'll see. I think it's worth taking a look anyway. I mean, like, probably no matter which way I go, it's going to be pretty uninteresting, but maybe some ways are more interesting than most. This looks interesting. Like there's a cave here, a very conspicuous looking underwater cave, and I'm getting stuck. I might not be able to get my sea truck through here. Well. What have we here? How far away am I from? So I'm half a kilometer from secondary base. This might connect up with the... Hold on. Okay, there's your base there. Where's the... would be like green beacon there. So yeah, Snowstalker Cave is directly above me. I think this is the body of water that connects with the Snowstalker Cave. So this is probably actually not of interest much at all, really. After all. But I'll take a peek anyway. You know, if I activate this thing, there we go. Does it turn up anything of note? Whoa, I'm stuck. The frig? I'm actually stuck. It wasn't moving the mouse wasn't doing anything. That was weird. Sort of resources that I don't care about. Yeah, that was weird and concerning. Seemed to be okay though. Why are my controls going funny? Would really much rather be traveling this in the sea track, if this game will allow it. I only have one module towed behind me. It should be reasonable. Okay. Oh, it's this bullcrap again. We're pushing enters, bring up that thing. Go away. Can I turn this off? Is there a... Can I push close on that and have it go away? It's in the lower left corner, that little console thingy. Is there a way to make it go away? I'm not seeing... I thought there's supposed to be a clearly marked button which says, make this go away now, or something, you know? Like, pushing enter is making it come up, and every time it comes up, I lose all control of everything. Like, I can't move, and trying to move the mouse, which normally makes me look around, and just moves this mouse cursor around. How do I make that go away? How do I frickin' make it go away? What made it pop up in the first place? I don't know. I didn't do anything unusual. I didn't push any other keys. No apparent reason exists for this to have come up. How do I make it go away? Like, I was pushing the enter key plenty of times without this issue occurring before. And all of a sudden it just comes up to plague me. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense. It's just really obnoxious that for some reason it's an issue that just randomly comes out of nowhere for no apparent reason. The only way I found to make it go away is to, exit the game and load it again. Like, exit right out of the game, like, and if I do that, then I have to break up the recording into two and then, stitch the recordings together. And it's like an obnoxious thing to have to do because it takes time for this thing to process doing that. And, the longer the video is, the longer it takes to do it. And like a 3-hour video takes a comparable amount of time to process the editing, and it's just I don't want to have to do that. It's an obnoxious thing to have to do. Because of a stupid bug, which I don't know how or why it's cropping up in the first place. Why does such a bug exist? Like, I'm assuming it's a bug. Like, it's worked fine without that issue coming up 99% of the time, and then every once in a while, like ever since I found like the area with the shadow leviathans were, it seems like every once in a while it just pops up for no reason. Like, it just makes no sense. Let me see if I can find something online about it. According to what I read, there's supposed to be a disable console button here, but it's not here. So one source I saw said to push Shift Enter, but that has no effect. Okay, doing some more searching. I didn't find a way to resolve it, but I found out how it happened in the first place. Apparently, in previous versions, there was an option where you could push F3 to bring us up, and then push F8 to do this, to bring up the mouse cursor, and there was a button which says enable or disable console up here, and you can click that to enable or disable it. In a recent update, they changed that, and now apparently pushing Shift Enter brings up the console. And I must have pushed Shift Enter by accident. I don't normally, like, I use Enter to go up and Shift to go down. You know, the keys are right next to each other there, and they're conveniently located. Like, I can push them with my little finger while my you know, the first three fingers work the arrow keys, and my right hand is on the mouse. That's just how I operate. And it's like, I don't normally have to go up and down at the same time, so I don't normally push those buttons at the same time. Somehow I push them together by accident. I guess like during the Shadow Leviathan attack, I was mashing keys and must have pushed them together by accident. I'm not sure how it came to pass that I did it by accident here now, but as far as I can tell from all my searching, I can't find a way to disable it. I put a post in the community forum about it, and on the off chance someone else has figured it out, but I don't know. There wasn't any way that I was able to find. Maybe here, something here. Is there a way to disable console? I enabled it by accident, and now every time I push Enter, my controls freeze. That's... oh, I'm mad. Feedback said thank you. So yeah, I guess I need to be mindful of pushing Enter. I don't know. Should I just tolerate this for now, or should I actually exit and should I exit? Tertiary base, tertiary base. Yeah. It's half a kilometer away, that's half a kilometer away. You know what, why don't I set up my temp base here, just see if there's anything I can detect from here. Let's just see how, let's just see how obnoxious it is to try to operate like this. First I'm going to grab this. Need to grab some fish to go into the bioreactor. Yoink. So yeah, as far as I can tell, there's no way to fix it. There's no way. There's no way to disable it without exiting the game and loading it again. I mean, if there is, I mean, it's kept hidden. It's not posted in any of the anywhere in the forum that I saw. Yeah, but then again, most of the are you right in front of where I was about to put the hatch? Get out of the way. Oh, did he just vanish, or did it just like propel him upward or something? Anyway, yeah, the most of the stuff, like most of everything that I searched for was people who wanted to know how to enable console. You know, like there are people who were like, they're used to the previous version where you had to do that trick of F3, F8, blah blah blah. So no one was asking how you disable it.
Fluid intake.
So I don't know. Apparently, I'm trying to do something unusual in. Trying because people, everyone, you know, wants to enable a console so they can cheat, and I'm like the only one who doesn't want to cheat, I guess. How do you not cheat? How do you uncheat? Or something. These are all icebergs, right? I guess. Angling research, that'll be on the for the landmass. Just drink some water.
Vital signs stabilizing.
Yeah, search for ion cubes. And let's toss another boomerang in there. Now, is it so? Oh, really? In that twisted cavern, there's an ion cube there. Okay. Guess it's worth going back in there then. So it looks like, yeah, you just go in a ways, turn left, then it goes up, and then, yeah, follow along there. And sort of an up and left, this little alcove there. Okay, I mean, looks straightforward enough from here. Probably still gonna get lost. Ah, oh, darn it. Okay. Yeah, that could be really annoying, this console thing. No. Yeah, I don't know. I should. I don't want to have to splice these things together. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna exit, and so that means I'm gonna have to restart the recording. I think. I mean, unless I can try pausing. Okay. Well, let me see if there's there's a workaround for this. I'll see if this works. Yeah. Okay. So I guess I'm gonna have to splice those two things together. Oh well. Loading up, going into it again. Okay. Alright. This, oh right, because I saved and reloaded, it's, since I saved and reloaded, it's not scanning now. I should probably toss a few more, animals into the, or something into the bioreactor. While I'm at it, I'll just grab a piece of titanium and copper just so I can make another beacon. Because it doesn't hurt to have another beacon. Where are the boomerang fish that were here before? Or anything, like, it can be, it doesn't have to be an animal, it can be a plant. I'm guessing I can't cut pieces off the jellyfish. It's a rather barren location, there's no plant life at all. Oh, I see what appears to be a boomerang fish. That'll do. Anyway, yeah, I had hoped, I thought maybe I could pause the recording, exit the game, load it, and then unpause the recording, but my recording software didn't tolerate that. As soon as I exited the program, it just stopped recording. It was specifically seeking that window out to record. Oh well.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Okay. 2 more boomerang fish. So yeah, I just have to be mindful about not pushing shift and enter at the same time. There you go. It's sort of amazing that I didn't hit that key combination by accident at any point. And now that I've gone and done that, I realized, oh wait, I still forgot to tell it to actually search for the actual ion cube. Actually, so let's do that now. It's the only thing. They just here. There are no data boxes. Alright, here we go. Let's see what I can find. Yeah, like, I don't know. I mean, I guess I can sort of understand like the designers wanted people to have easier access to the console, and I guess they didn't anticipate anyone would want to disable. Excuse me. Did they not anticipate that anyone would want to disable the console? Apparently. Oh well. Anyway. So as per what I was, I'm bumping into things, and now I'm stuck. Okay, turn around. Turn around, then I can go forward. Okay. the dimensions of the sea truck get a little weird when it has the thing attached to it. I suppose I could have just left it outside. Sorry guys. Oh hey, maybe now that I've rammed them, maybe that would make them easier to grab. They could be bioreactor fuel. I reckon it's Milo. Hey, it's properly violet now. The other violet bow I found wasn't actually violet, so I was confused why they changed the color. Anyway. So yeah, from what I gathered, it looked like I just continue along this path for a while, and then there was a little alcove overhead, right? After going up. So I gotta be pretty close, right? I hope. Okay, alcove has to be around here somewhere. Let's just hop out and get myself a bit more maneuverability. Here we go. Aw. Okay, so, yep, alcove, yep, ion cube. Is that it? Nothing else here? Usually, the presence of ion cubes marks something else, like, you know, some other alien artifact or structure or machine or something. Yoink. Guess that's it. Nothing else here. Okay. Yeah, don't lose track of where the sea truck is. It's one of those fatal things. Or potentially fatal. So yeah, like there's a way up to the surface there, and I think that just leads back to Phi Robotics Island. So, oh well, I guess that's it. Let's just head on back. Brought the beacon along for nothing. There's nothing to mark there. Which reminds me, I forgot to put down the temp base beacon next to the temp base. Oops. That's pretty easy to find, I think. It's the kind of thing I should probably not neglect to do, though. Regardless, it doesn't look like there's anything else of interest in this area. I mean, when I saw the cave, I was like, ooh, mysterious. And I was like, oh wait, this is a cave I'd already found before. I guess it's notable for the fact that A, I've discovered an alternate way into the Snowstalker cave. Yeah, don't really care about that. I found it, and the only thing of interest there was the I mean, there's the Snowstalker juveniles, which are cute, I guess, and there's a source of Snowstalker fur, which I made the cold suit with, and I was not impressed. I mean, it's only potentially useful if you're intended to be out on land for long periods of time, which, you know, arguably you might be in the fire robotics location. But it's like by the time you've found the snow stalker fur, you've probably explored most of it, and besides the snow fox is a better way of warming up anyway. Because like, the snow fox is also it's a portable means of warming up, and it brings you up to full temperature. The gold suit, like, it really should give you full protection. If it doesn't, what's the point? That's how I see it anyway. Oh well. Oops. Guess that's gonna go to waste because I'm about to disassemble this thing. Okay. Temp base disassembled. Let's move on. And like, now I'm moving in the direction of other stuff that I've searched before, you know, so that makes me feel like less certain that I'm going to heading into, you know, somewhere unknown where there's going to be something interesting. Oh well. If I continue along here, maybe I'll find out what happens when you go into the ecological dead zone. Like, from the description, it sounds like it's full of Chalicarat instead of, you know, ghost leviathans like the previous game. But yeah, let's check this out. Let's see where this goes. Curiously, it's curving away from everything. That's the Snow Stalker Cave. It's 50 meters away. A kilometer away from the secondary base. The fact that it got all dark very suddenly suggests that I might be in the dead zone. You know, that and the fact that there's like no plant life around here. Let's just patch this up. Oh, hello. I thought I saw you for a split second there while I was popping out. Oh, hello. I said hello.
Seek fluid intake.
Yeah.
Vital signs stabilizing.
It's 15% damage, even though it didn't grab me. Actually, come to think of it, maybe I should let it grab the sea truck, just that, you know, assuming this is like the dead zone variant of the Chalicarat, and therefore like having a different scan. Maybe it functions differently. It doesn't. Maybe it doesn't grab me. It just rams me. Yeah. Okay. Here's an idea. Would it be a big mistake to try just hopping out and scanning it? I mean, maybe, but kind of wanna anyway. I mean, what else am I gonna do? Gotta bring some excitement to this dull recording. Give this a proper anticlimactic, or proper climactic finish. a fan of how dark it gets here. Jerk. Right. Ah, frick. I didn't... Is it scannable? No? Okay. Okay, fine. Get the heck out. Okay, point taken. I'll go away. I wanted to scan it. I wanted to do science. Can I don't suppose I can repair this thing from inside, can I? No? I have to step out? Can I repair from here? No? There's a steep drop off here. Or is this just part of the whole ecological dead zone thing? I have a feeling this steep drop off just denotes the boundaries of the dead zone. Yeah. Still snapping at me. Did the other one have spines on its back like that? I certainly don't remember the glowing yellowish greenish eyes. That might be a unique feature to the dead zone Chalicrat. Tempted to put a base here right on the edge. How close am I to like everything? It's just a kilometer away from that, 1.3 kilometers, 1.5 kilometers, a kilometer. You know, I'm pretty far, whoa, hello. Pretty far away from, pretty, sorry. Trying to talk and concentrate on things at the same time. Yeah, pretty far from any structures that I've visited before, really. So it could be a neat place to put down a scan room, see what I can scan. At least for the sake of novelty of seeing the drop-off show up on the scanner image. Yeah, just put it pretty much anywhere. Again, probably not going to find anything of this side. Probably not going to find anything of interest. But eerie sound effects for this region, like ambient sound, following everything.
Warning, emergency power only. Oxygen production offline.
And scanner range upgrades. Why do I have Peeper in the quick slot there? Bioreactor. Can still hear the quantum locker going. Yeah, let's throw a couple of Arctic beavers in there.
Power restored. All primary systems online.
Yeah, it's just a drop off into nowhere. Although, something over here. Oh, okay. So I'm over here. So this little drop off isn't actually to nowhere. Could there be something there?
Calorie intake recommended.
Oh, I've got calorie intake recommended now. Are there any random fish around that I can grab? I mean, I could just eat the salad, whatever. That's what it's there for. Seriously though, it looked like... wait, I want to confirm directions, hold on.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
So it's here. And this thing is east by northeast, okay. Let's put the beacon down. Which one is it? Is it this one? Dead base, yeah. Did I say east by northeast? So over here? Okay. Thing to catch and maybe eat. Yeah, this thing, yeah, I had a feeling that's where the vent thingy was going to be. Yeah, the fact that, the fact that,
Vital signs stabilizing.
I get slowed down by the reinforced dive suit now. Like maybe it slowed me down in the previous game too, but I did not notice it as much as I did do in this version. Like, it could be due to the fact that the swim glide ultra glide fins are no longer a thing as they existed in the previous game. I mean, maybe they exist in this game too, and I just haven't found them. Kind of like maybe the maybe the stasis rifle exists, and I just haven't found it. Somehow, I have a feeling they took it. I have a feeling they took it out of the game. Like, they may have realized how unbalancing it is. There you go. It's a preacher. Anyway. Did say I was gonna just edit out anything where I wasn't finding stuff, but what the hell? This is kind of interesting. It's interesting to me, anyway. In the end, maybe that's all that matters. But Yeah. This guy here. It occurs to me that some of those things that I found that were marked as like that honeycomb fungus thing that's marked as exploitable, never found a use for it. Not even as a biological fodder for the bioreactor. This is a kind of a neat thing. It's got a chalicrate around it. Like the regular one, not the one that's in the ecological dead zone. Where is that? There, the tip base. Yeah, so west by northwest as opposed to east by southeast. Didn't I say north and south? I don't know. Whatever direction I said. I don't think there's actually anything of interest here. I mean beyond the vent itself, sorry, what was that thing called? Just that words. I don't remember I don't even remember what category it was. It had a name and it's bugging me and I can't remember. It had vent in it. Hydrothermal vent? No. Like I seem to remember it having the. Maybe I'm misremembering. I don't know. Is it considered coral? No. Whatever. So yeah, I haven't really found anything of interest. I found a new log entry from Marguerite, which sort of doubled as a sign that there must be another one that I missed somewhere, somehow, but I can't find it anywhere that seemed reasonable to look. And yeah, at this point is probably if there's anything else to be found, it's probably just as well that if I look up spoilers for it. Because yeah, I don't think there's I don't think there's anything else of huge source of interest around. This thing is visually gorgeous. It looks pretty cool. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I found like everything that might be of interest to find. Although before I go, just because I'm curious, I told it to scan for chalicrate. It's detecting the two that I know are there over by the vent, because they like to hang around vents. But does it detect the one that's in the dead zone? Moving as far into the dead zone might be like just generally unwise. I mean, I am in the dead zone, right? Being unable to see like anything is a little disconcerting. I want to see if the scanner detects it. Like, is it considered a separate entity, like different from the other Chelicrit, or not? I wasn't able to scan it. It's like, it's not like in the original game. In the original game, there was they were distinct entities. Like there was yeah. See, this scanner's detecting it. Yeah, just curious. Yeah, because there's in the previous game there was the Ghost Leviathan, which hangs out underground, and then there's the Ghost Leviathan which goes beyond the borders of the crater in the dead zone. It seems to confirm that it's, even though I can't scan it, it does. It is apparently a different animal. And this one, it doesn't seem to be willing.
See fluid intake.
Yeah. This one doesn't seem to be willing to follow me out of the dead zone, which I guess I should consider myself fortunate for. I mean,
Welcome aboard, Captain.
I remember that one particular session of the Subnautica Hardcore Season 3.
Warning, emergency power only.
Where
Vital signs stabilizing.
the Ghost Leviathan followed me surprisingly far into my territory and wrecked my Seamoth, and this was accompanied by much swearing. And I'm still frankly amazed it didn't die there in that circumstance. Okay, so my things all packed up again. Let's move on. And tent base all packed up. I mean, I used up my last water bottle, so I should probably head back and grab some more of them soon. I'll continue out a little ways longer. I don't know if this is the best route to be taking into for my temp base scanner setup thing strategy. I don't know. As long as I'm, more than 500 meters away from from my other bases, I figure I'm probably in a region where I have a chance of detecting something I haven't seen before. Like ideally, I should be in the neighborhood of a kilometer away because, you can detect 500 meters away from that base and then 500 meters away from this base. Should be able to cover more ground that way. Yeah, 1,200 meters from Marguerite's greenhouse. 800 meters away, 1,200, 578. How does this seem like? Yeah, it looks like there's it's almost like there's an invisible barrier there he's not willing to cross. just set up a temp base right here. Seems like as good a spot as any. Okay, so set up my temp base there, and then after that, I realized that once again I forgot to pick up my temp base beacon, so now I just have the temp base beacon there. Probably be faster, 600 meters away. It'd probably be faster to get out and sea glide it, but then again, that's a much more dangerous option considering that there are 2 Chalicrits in that region. Oh well. Okay, back to the temp base again. Let's drop the proper temp base beacon. Pick up this one. And let's see if there's anything worth scanning over here. Probably not. Going in to see. Let's toss a couple of hoopfish in there. Still looks cool.
Power restored. All primary systems online.
There's a little shelf there. I'm sort of tempted to go down there and look at it just for the novelty of looking at it, but it's probably not worth it. It's like, close to 500 meters down. And I'm already at a depth of 433 meters, so it's like 900 meters down there. Yeah, very barren looking landscape here. Hey, jumbo whales. Like, the things I hope to find are either ion cubes, which is just an alien structure, or just generally some kind of interesting looking structure that, or cave or something that looks like it might be worth checking out. This looks pretty featureless here, except for this. Is it worth looking at that? Looks like there's a little crevice there, and it's like almost directly north, 500 meters away. Shall I check it out? I am getting low on water, and I drank my last water bottle, so I shouldn't spend too long doing this. But this is, yeah. The crevice that I'm looking for is 500 meters away, and the pilot last known position, i.e. migrate meta, 600 meters away. So I have a feeling this is just going to lead down to that hole where I found Marguerite's base. Oh right, I should have my zappy ready. Ready to zap him. Okay, so there's a ship here. Is this... okay, another old wreck is there. Is this the Mercury bow? Mercury bow 150 meters away. Which I think this is large enough that 150 meters away is just on the other side of this. Yeah. So, temp base 412 meters away, south. So that crevice that I saw was underneath this. Didn't really explore it that much. I do remember seeing something there. 1.5 kilometers away. 1.5 kilometers away from home. I'm just gonna sea glide it back there, and just so I can grab some water. Lots of stuff I have to edit out of this. Yeah, I decided maybe it's worth looking at this. Mature lily pad, huh? New thing to scan, how about that? mean, this kind of looks interesting in itself. Lily pad with more lily pads sticking out the sides. Can I climb on top of it? You can still scan it? Oh. Probably don't want to be up here when there's a lightning storm. Is that a new entry? Yeah. Once arising, the lily pad breaches the surface, its sealed fan slowly releases, causing the leaf to unfurl into a large flat circle that floats atop the surface of the water. Despite its size, the mature lily pad is able to float due to surface tension. Huh. Funny that the largest one of these things, the largest one of these is connected to the smallest stone suspended there. Heh. Yeah, I did kind of want to check these out, see if there was anything interesting among them. Like, I checked out the largest mass of them, but didn't really see anything of interest. It just looked like it was a connecting point for, for the cable. It's just there to lead you from one thing to the next. Yeah. Oh, what's this? Is this, sorry, is this just an eye jelly? It's not glowing the same way, so it's, I was just taking a look around the, Huh. It's a smaller version of that thing. How did I not see this before? Vent Garden, that's what it was called. It was bugging me that I couldn't remember. I knew it had vent in the name. Guys, leave me alone. You're not that tough. I will knife you and you won't like it. Anyway. Yeah, because this is the stern of the ship, of the Mercury. The one that I marked as very old wreck. Before I found out the name of it. And then didn't bother renaming the beacon. It takes so long to...
Seek fluid intake immediately.
Oh, great. Delta base. Between me and my destination. Oh well. It's fine. I'll eat one of the salads before I totally dehydrate, but I don't think it's going to come to that. Because I'm pretty close. But yeah, the fact that little mini vent gardens were there is in itself indicative of like there's still stuff that I haven't fully explored as much as I might like. This is the Copper Mines region, so
Fluid intake immediately.
yeah. Yeah. It's a matter of not knowing what's the best place to set up my temp base and scanner room and where to scan. Okay, so pulling back up to the good old A to B. I came back with 4 water bottles this time. I also I meant to pick up a first aid kit and I forgot until I was like halfway back, and then I said, oh, I saw some creep lines. I said, okay, we'll just turn the creep vines into fiber mesh and then turn those into a med kit. It comes out the same. It doesn't use a lot of power out of the brought the fish along for biofuel, but anyway, I do believe I decided I was going to see if I could find that strange crevice that was underneath. I guess it's underneath the bow, or maybe it's it there, or maybe, I don't know. But yeah, like, come to think of it, it's true though. There was something. There was something underneath the ship, right? Like there was. I mean, hold on a second, what's this? It's another chunk of the ship? It's separated from the ship? Like, I found the wreck, it's the bow, and another wreck, it's the stern. So what's this then? Just some random chunk of it that fell off? These things are scannable? Fall in the lily pad? I've seen these a bazillion times. I didn't realize they were scannable. Huh. Fall in the lily pad, eh? Yeah, I'm probably not going to find anything of interest around here, to be frank. I mean, is something else scannable? Adolescent lily pad? Okay. So there are 4 different scannable ones. There's the mature one, and an adolescent one, and a dead one, and growing one. Fauna? Leviathan's weaknesses? Oh, the juvenile Vanguard is considered a Leviathan? Docile, not a threat. 20 meters long, the juvenile Vanguard. Gentle giant appears to swim in aimless looping circles around mature vine gardens. Okay. So yeah, it's just a baby Vanguard. Apparently those are considered Leviathans. That's why I couldn't find it. It's in the Leviathan section. It's still an animal, even though it doesn't move around. It's not actually a plant. Adolescent lily pad grows. What have we here? Eventually they die. It's just a system. It's nutrients for the young seedlings to grow and provides temporary nutrients for other flora and fauna. Cool. Okay. Yeah, I'm just curious. But yeah, there. I like that crevice that had the little tunnel underneath it. I have come across there by accident while exploring, and I didn't really thoroughly check it out or anything, or did I? I don't even know if it's worth looking at, to be honest. But I'm just, this is just part of my mission to put down temporary scan rooms everywhere and see what I can scan for. I figured it's best to start by going around the periphery, you know, around the outer edges of explorable land. Okay, this is the first entry point that I found the first time around. It's all well good, but I think there was another entry point which made for easier access to what I'm thinking of looking for. Entry point here. This is probably totally pointless. Okay, you know what? I think I've had enough of this. There's this brief. I searched the wreck for a while, and there's a brief panic moment where I got lost and found my way out. Okay, obviously, found a couple of oxygen plants to sustain me. But yeah, I didn't find anything of interest in there. I found an unopened container which had a battery in it. For what that's worth. Other than that, yeah, I don't know. I didn't find the underground crevice that I was looking for. I don't know if I'm just looking the wrong. Maybe I'm getting confused with the stern section of the Mercury 2. But I remember there being this underground thing, like underneath the ship. I don't know. Maybe I need to review my previous recording. Like maybe I already went there. Maybe I already explored it, and I'm wasting my time. I mean, this whole session is probably generally a waste of time anyway. It's longer I go, I don't know. It just seems punishingly unlikely that I'm going to find anything of interest. Let's pack this up and move to the next site. Okay, so it's all disassembled, and let's move on to the next, or wherever the next site is, I guess. I'm going to continue following along the border of the world, or the border of the explorable region. My base is half a kilometer away. Getting closer to where Marguerite's greenhouse is, apparently. I just realized I didn't pick up the beacon, LOL. Okay. Funnily enough, my inventory was full and I went to pick it up. I could have dropped the fish that I'm carrying, which I was only carrying to drop into a future bioreactor, but I drank some water instead. Maybe that wasn't an optimal use of my resources. Oh well. Seemed like a good spot. Yeah, I really am pretty far away from everything. Oh, that was already number 5 slots. Okay. Here we go. Should strafe while doing it so I can charge it a little bit.
Emergency power only. Oxygen production offline.
Okay, scanner room upgrades in there. Get the habitat builder out. Continuing to curse the fact that there are only 5 quick slots in this game. I don't know why that's a thing. Having to go into inventory to swap them out continues to be a nuisance. And I suspect it will never stop.
Power restored. All primary systems online.
There's the base sitting on the edge of the world there. I feel like I should make this the thumbnail, just call it Living on the Edge. Seriously though, there's precious little to scan here. Glow whales, no ion cubes, nothing of interest. This looks very plain and barren here. There's a little divot there, but nothing really of interest. Maybe the divot is interesting. Slightly west of northwest. Shall I take? I mean, sure, why not? Oh wait, let's not forget to put the beacon down that I just finished recovering. Is this the right one? Yeah. Yeah, I suspected there's nothing of note there. Let's pick up the beacon first this time. And I'm on the move again. Looks like I'm circling around back to Marguerite's greenhouse. You know, I was sort of wondering earlier, you know, she can just put her greenhouse down anywhere. Why would she choose that top of that iceberg there? And I guess, you know, being on the outskirts where the giant chalicorns are, is you know, it's a location where Altera is probably going to be reluctant to follow, and yeah, I don't know, it's just isolated. It's on an obscure iceberg. I guess it sort of makes sense. Yeah, this is all very barren around here. Considering you can do everything out of order, I kind of wonder what happens if you go to the greenhouse before you find Marguerite's main base. Would that mess things up? Oh, you son of a jerk. Sorry. Jostled the mic when I startled me. I wasn't expecting it to come in this far into shore, so to speak. Anyway, seems like a good place as any. Thought I'd hop out to grab a fish and like place it, you know, for feeding the bioreactor, and it's like this place is so gosh darn barren that it was like about to resort to just going right to the greenhouse itself. Hell, maybe I'll just drop by the greenhouse anyway. There are peppers there. I can like completely fill up my food and water meters. Oh, actually, these anemones will suit that purpose as well, for that matter. Yoink. Yoink. I should probably grab some oxygen while I'm here. Okay, coming back up to the base. with a handful of fishes to throw into the bioreactor. What can I see here? Anything of interest?
All primary systems online.
Marguerite's greenhouse is the beacon for it is 40-70 meters away. That suggests that the iceberg itself doesn't show up on this little sonar display here. I remember this thing. That means I've already set up a temp base in this region. It was on the, I think it was on the other side of this thing, though. Excuse me. Yeah. I think I'm detecting anything of interest. I'm a little curious about this, though. It's this structure here. Okay, coordinary base is 676 meters away, so, yeah, so that would be just beyond this little thing here. So that's part of the region where the coordinary base is, so whatever, there's nothing of interest there. It's just stuff I've already explored. Okay, so nothing of note here. Wonder if it might be worth putting the scanner on the iceberg where Marguerite's greenhouse is in the first place. I'm gonna try that. Okay, coming up on Marguerite's greenhouse beacon. I mean, if this iceberg itself isn't showing up in the scanner, then it's doubtful that I'm gonna like find anything of interest by scanning the region. I don't know. I mean, I found it. Oh, right. I found the what do you call it? Hello? I found the satellite, the crashed Architect satellite, up this one of these icebergs. So why can't I pet you? Fuck. Is that an okay place to put a? Oh, the ramp didn't spawn. Is there somewhere where there's room for the ramp to generate? Maybe if I rotate it. Be mindful of my temperature. Yeah, it's like, what if I rotate it 90 degrees like this? There's more space that way, right?
Hypothermia imminent.
Nom. That restored the temperature. There you go. Little struts didn't appear because it's over the water, but this like naturally doesn't have any struts, so now like the whole thing is floating. Nothing holding up except for this ramp. Okay.
Power restored. All primary systems online.
So now I'm able to check the icebergs, even though they didn't show up in the scanner before. So that's, you know, where the greenhouse is and stuff. There's a couple of big honking icebergs over here. Which one had this crashed satellite on it? Don't even remember. It's one that's really close to this one. I know there's nickel here? Huh. But yeah, how is there nickel here? That's neat. I expect to find deep, not on the surface. But not at sea level. But yeah. Bunch of floating icebergs. How long has this recording been? Hold on. Okay, it's close to 3 hours, and I'm sure once I've edited stuff out, it's not going to be nearly that long, but this is, I still have to edit those videos together, so that's going to take some time. And like I said, the longer the video is, the more time it takes to edit them, so, because this thing has to process them. So I should probably just wrap up this recording right now. Maybe I'll pay one more visit to Margaret's greenhouse. Even though I'm just filling up on peppers over here. Oh, it's nice during the day. Yeah, I think that was the iceberg which had the crashed satellite on it. Or was it that one? You know, one of these. Strange noises. Ice does make strange noises, though. Like, I remember being on a frozen lake one time, and it's just weird groaning and grinding sounds. Just from, yeah. It's cool. Should I try eating one of these? Probably not. Let's grab one of these instead. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I suppose there's another PDA around now. Like, again, it's number 2 and 3, but not number 1, which makes me wonder if there's one that I missed somewhere. It's really looking like there's nothing else to be found here. Like maybe 1 or 2 more architect artifacts somewhere. Like, if there is anything to be found, it looks like I'm only going to find it by just systematically searching everything until, you know, until I find it. Cute. It's worth. Oops. Sorry. Can I climb up on that? Is it possible to, like, get up on top of that? I wonder. Maybe it's something to check out for another episode. Or maybe I should just end this series right here and not bother us anymore.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Maybe this is just a foolish waste of time. Maybe I should, you know, put it up to a vote or something. You know, anyone still watching this series think I should put up another episode? Is it worth looking around for anything more? I mean, I thought it would. I definitely think it was worth finding Marguerite's base and her greenhouse. That was kind of neat. and the bits of lore around that. But beyond that, like, it looks like I've completely found everything that was intended to be found. I mean, unless there's some new dialogue that happens in the final scene with Alan after meeting Marguerite and so on. I don't know if there's any point in continuing, or is there a point in doing anything else. I do kind of think it might be kind of funny if I never, like, the only thing necessary to actually do to reach the end of the game, it seems, is to give Alan his new body, and that's it. Like, it seems like I never actually even had to find the frozen Leviathan at all. I could have completely ignored the whole mystery of what happened to Sam. Oh yeah, here, look at this. Console commands are easier to access by using Shift-Enter. That was implemented on August 19th, so yeah, just a month ago. So yeah, when it came up during that previous session, while I was going up against the Shadow Leviathans, that was the result of a new feature that they just introduced, annoyingly. Oops. Oh well. Yeah, I don't know. I might just play something different. Maybe I've had enough of Subnautica Below Zero. Like it was cool when I first got into it. It's this new world, new creatures, and new structures and stuff, like terrain features and story and intrigue. I feel like they're like, I don't know. Overall, it's just lackluster compared to the first game. Like, there are a lot of unsolved mysteries and unanswered questions to really be satisfying. The fact that you can win the game without ever finding out what happened to Sam, which was supposedly the original goal, is a little weird. Like, the game turns into you trying to help Alan instead of finding out what happened to your sister, which is just, I don't know. Like, I feel like I feel like those plot points could have been merged a little better, And again, the fact that it's possible to avoid meeting Marguerite altogether is a little weird. The fact that apparently Marguerite and Sam met each other, they talked, they formed plans together, and I managed to win the game without knowing about any of that is a little weird, Why is it that was not mentioned in any of Sam's logs anywhere? I mean, okay, granted that I mean, she wouldn't want other people like Altair to be able to find out about it, so okay, fine. But for purposes of for gameplay purposes, you want to be able to convey that information to the audience, I would think. I don't know, maybe the designers of the game did not anticipate that someone could play this game without finding Margaret's base, but it's kind of hidden. I mean, yeah, I had to really look to find it. I mean, like, I didn't find it the first time around through lack of trying. Like, I searched around that area. I just, apparently I just didn't search enough. And the game was still giving me enough other leads that there wasn't a need to scrutinize that scrutinize that area anymore. Yeah, I don't know. It's just it's just all really weird. I mean, like the original game had its your whole mission. Okay, like the original game, your original mission is to survive and get off the planet, and along the way, you get to help the Sea Emperor, and that becomes intrinsically linked with your goal of escaping the planet. In this game, your mission is to find out what happened to your sister, and that basically just gets completely lost once you find Alan. Your mission now becomes to get him a new body and then leave the planet whenever you feel like it. And finding your sister is completely optional, despite the fact that supposedly the main story, the main driving force behind Robin coming here in the first place. Like this like the first game, like your ship crashes, right? I mean, you're at the mercy of forces beyond your control, and in this game, Robin's here by choice. She chose to come to this planet looking for answers. Like that, her mission should have been vital to the story, should have been vital to the gameplay, as I feel. Like you know what I mean? Like there's a running theme in both of them. Like you in both of them, both games, like original Subnautica and Subnautica Below Zero, you end up having to help this I was premature in singing along to the music. First game you have to help the Sea Emperor. Second game you have to help Alan. But yeah, sorry, I'm repeating myself now. Yeah, it's just kind of an overall unsatisfying experience in comparison. Yeah. I don't know. It's just anticlimactic, and I don't know. It just like there's the original game. Like when you build your rocket, there's a sense of majesty about it. There's a sense of drama about it. Just like even just climbing up into the cockpit. And I didn't feel that as much this time around, like climbing into Alan's spaceship. I don't know. That's another aspect of it. Like the ship, at least it's like in the first game, I felt like this is something I earned and worked towards and built myself and stuff. There was less feeling of achievement in this game. It was just a bunch of fetch quests that Alan sent me on. He said, and he just out of the blue from time to time he says, "Oh, there's an artifact over here. You should go find it. Oh, there's an artifact over here. You should go find it." And that becomes the whole game. It's just Alan telling you go from A to B, go over here, and now go over here, and now go over here, and then you win the game. And okay, I mean, you have to get past the Shadow Leviathan on the way, but it's I don't know. Like on the flip side, like I spent an inordinately long time searching barren landscapes in the first game, so maybe having it give a little more direction. Giving it a little more direction was called for, but this game kind of went too far in the other direction. It just tells you everywhere to go, and then everything related to what is supposed to be your quest just becomes optional. Yeah, like I don't know. It's just the game. This game looks on the surface like it wants to have more of a story focus by having a non-mute protagonist. When having a character who speaks and emotes and has a history, where as opposed to the first game where you're just a total blank slate, you're completely a mute protagonist, so the audience can project whatever they want onto this person, whatever backstory, whatever motivations or anything onto them. In this game, Robin has a clear motivation for being here. She wants to be here for a purpose, and then that purpose becomes completely optional. And I just feel like if you want to have more of a story focus, more of a character focus in the game, that's cool. But I feel like you need to marry it to the gameplay a bit more. It's I don't know. I'm rambling again. After this, I don't know. Like I said, if someone says I should try again and tells me that there's more to be found, I don't know. Maybe I should look up spoilers at this point to see if there's anything significant or interesting that I missed. If someone says there's something to be found, or if I discover there is something else to be found, maybe I'll make another recording. Otherwise, I'll probably just go play something else. Got a couple of games recently. I actually acquired as part of a giveaway. Someone had some extra games out of a humble bundle kind of thing. One of them was Not Tonight, which is I gather is similar to Papers, Please, in that there's hold on a second. It's Papers, Please, which is it's been called a bureaucracy simulator. You're looking at people's papers to decide whether to let them in or not, and this one's in a more modern setting, and but there's still like an overarching story about, I don't know, like terrorist attack or something. So there's more going on than just being a bouncer in a nightclub, telling people not tonight, you can't come in, which is ostensibly what it's about. But there's, I don't know, stuff I saw that looked interesting, so I think it might be worth recording that. And then the other game was I'm drawing a blank. What was the other game? Oh yeah, I remember now. Orwell, Ignorance is Strength. I played the first game, Orwell, and that was really interesting. That had some pretty cool like twists and turns in the plot. Lots of reading involved, though. But if the sequel is at all any good as the original game, like, it could be interesting. The sequel being entitled Ignorance is Strength, which is referenced in 1984, of course, by George Orwell. Yeah, it's like surveillance state simulator. So yeah, one of those. Probably kind of lean towards Not Tonight. Maybe I'll try that next. Anyway, I've rambled on enough. Until next time.